During our visit in UK, we had the chance to inform about animal care jobs. The career of animal care jobs includes animal groomer, handler or trainer, animal psychologist, riding instructor, cattery assistant and veterinary nurse. Colleges offer an intermediate apprenticeship in animal care. An apprenticeship would give you the opportunity to gain practical experience. Many jobs within the animal care sector, such as pet shop assistant, dog groomer, kennel or cattery assistant, or rescue center worker, do not require a specific higher education qualification for entry. Here we are at Cheshire Fire Rescue Service. A firefighter connects and lays hose lines, sets ladders and operates fire streams, uses hand and power tools to ventilate and enter burning structures for the purpose of extinguishing fires and to perform search and rescue operations.
Good morning everybody, my name is Paul Speed. I'm a firefighter for Cheshire Fire and Rescue Service working at Widnes Fire Station. Here 2 days and the 2 nights that we're here. This is where we live, this is our house. So we've got our kitchen, this is our rec room, dining room where we eat our meals, we've got television to watch, we've got offices with computers to do our work, we have rooms with chairs in where we rest at night, between certain hours at night we can rest. Apart from that, this is us, this is where we live, and you know, sometimes you can spend more time with your colleagues at work than you do at home with your families. So we all work well together, very closely together. You know, apart from colleagues, we're all also friends as well. Okay. Any questions so far? I love my job. Why? Well, I was 21 when I started, and the reasons I gave when I was younger, I wanted to be either join the police or fire service. Why? To help people. I like to think I'm a people person, and I think, and this is the same in your countries as well. We are we do live quite an affluent life. You know, we get most of things, whereas some countries in the world, you know, are quite poor. So I think it's good that there's people in society that need to give back something rather than people take all the time. You need to give back. So it was a job where I can help people, work with some good people in a good team, and go home at the end of the day thinking that, you know, I've achieved something. And it's not for everybody. I mean, there's certain things that we do, certain things that we see at certain times that, you know, a lot of my friends say, I could never do your job because of the things that we do. You know, we deal with death and things like that. But then again, I could never work in an office. I could never be a teacher. I mean, I could never be a teacher. So that's why, it's to help people basically. You know, and in all the years that I've been doing this, I think I have helped a lot of people. I'd like to think I've helped a lot of people.
So do you think your job is something vocational, to be a firefighter?
To be a firefighter, yeah. Definitely is vocational. You certainly don't, like I said earlier, you don't join the fire service to make a lot of money. You will never make a lot of money out of it. If you want to make money, you've got to be a bit of an entrepreneur to go and make the big bucks. There are people who do earn a lot of money, but they might only earn that money for a couple of years, and then they might earn no money. Like I said, our job is still quite a secure job. Even for the younger ones starting now, who've got to work 40 years, as long as they keep the fitness and the skills, that is a job that you will stay in.
A firefighter must have the ability to read and understand technical materials related to fire science and understand and follow oral and written instructions.
Your initial training is 16 weeks, You do all the basic firefighting elements. You breathing apparatus, swift water rescue, and then you do a probation package. But to be honest, you're training all through your career. You learn something new every day. You get your certificate to ride, but every job that you go to, you learn something, and that's the good thing about going back to the teamwork. There's somebody in the team who's done something that you haven't done. No matter how long I've been in the job, Anthony might have done something, Dawn might have done something, been to a job.
A firefighter responds to a wide variety of emergency alarms, such as structural and environmental fires, traffic accidents, natural gas leaks, medical emergencies, and hazardous materials spills. The minimum qualifications are knowledge of basic principles, methods and techniques of fire suppression and prevention, basic methods, techniques and practices for hazardous materials mitigation. A typical way of obtaining the knowledge, skills and abilities is graduation from high school or an equivalent combination of training and experience. A trainee as firefighter has a basic salary of about £22,000 a year. The highest salary of a watch manager is £36,000 a year. So why not become a firefighter? If you like fighting against fires and help people, you can become one. Here we are at Merseyside Police Docks and Mounted Section near Liverpool. Policing on Merseyside officially started in 1835 when the Liverpool Watch Committee formed the first borough police force. Horses were introduced in 1886 and at first they were used mostly for pulling wagons. But what is necessary to work there?
There's a series of tests and it's virtually still the same at the moment. Medical, interview and riding assessment, and once successful we do a 16-week riding course. Now not everybody has ridden because you're taught in that 16 weeks how to ride horses. I fortunately had ridden horses in the past, so that it was a good advantage in that sense. However, I hadn't ridden for 8 years. So it's very different going from riding school ponies. Hi.
What are the advantages of riding horses instead of driving cars? Or
Okay. Whereabouts in Spain are you?
What?
Have you got police horses where you live?
No, we come from Spain, a village nearby, so about 15,000 people. No
Okay,
horses.
so your nearest town is? Did you
Seville.
I've been to Seville. I've seen. Yeah, they've got police horses, haven't they?
Yes, in
Yeah.
Seville, but not in our village.
Ah, okay. This is a really good question. What is the advantage of riding a horse? Now, I've explained to you the shifts that we work. We work at the football. We've got 2 fairly big football teams here. Who are they? Merseyside Police.
Everton's not a big team.
At Merseyside Police Docks and Mountain Section there are a lot of tall and trained horses. She is now explaining why they use horses for watching football matches.
So at weekends we work football matches. So in theory, in answer to your question, the police horses are quite big. Does anyone know how we measure horses?
Oh.
Manos. Is that Manos?
Manos, yes, yes.
Hands. Yeah, so our police horses have to be a certain height. There is no point in riding small ponies because we need the height advantage. So if you think we're working at the football, we can actually see over the heads of people. We can actually see what is going on down the road. So our advantage is massive compared to a foot officer for that reason. We manage the queues, we prevent disorder, so we don't get an awful lot of trouble, but if there is any potential disorder, in theory, one horse can actually do the job of about 30 foot officers, because riding a horse, we can ask people to move over into queues.
Police officers are responsible for enforcing laws and maintaining peace within communities. In addition to earning a high school diploma, police officers receive training at a police academy. Some police officers complete degree programs in law enforcement or criminal justice as well, which can be helpful for career advancement. Police recruits also have to go through a series of examinations that are determined by their academy, which may include physical fitness testing and psychiatric review. To become a policeman, you have to be 21 or older, must be physically fit, calm under pressure and ability to make critical decisions, pass drug and lie detector tests.
Hi there, hi everybody, hello. Hi. Cool.
Boris, Ivan's treating Boris today, so Boris is having his teeth done. Is it twice a year?
Twice a year we come and do the horses and check them over. Horses have very different teeth than ours, and basically the horse's teeth are constantly erupting throughout the entire life of the horse, and they're actually grinding them away. I'll show you a horse's tooth. This is a horse that's 9. And that's a 9-year-old's tooth. You see how big it is, yeah? And it's in there. So what happens as the horse is grinding its food, it starts to create sharp points. So I am actually here to file off the points and make them nice and smooth, and also balance out the mouth to make sure that they wear nice and evenly. Okay. Brutal, and if you missed and you caught the horse, the poor horse ended up being cut. So it's quite a skillful job, but it was very labour intensive. The modern tools now are diamond tools that we use. These are motors, and these are our little batteries that we use. Okay, why do we use diamonds? Does anybody know? They're quite tough. They're a bit more than quite tough. They're actually the hardest thing in the world, diamonds. And so diamonds, and they are real diamonds, yeah. And they are very expensive. Okay. What I'll do, I'll give you a little demonstration of how good they are at cutting stuff. People like this one, so I'll show you.
This office is responsible for disabled people. Workers at the Job Recruitment Centre in Liverpool told us about opportunities for disabled people to find the right job.
Well, so they're guaranteed an interview with a company that we work with, CIC.
What Remboy does is offer a 6-month program for people with health conditions, disabilities, any sort of barrier. When I say barrier, do you know what I'm talking about? So you just need that little bit of extra support to get you into work. So it's a 6-month program. To be eligible for the program, you have to be 16 years of age, you have to want to work over 16 hours a week, and you have to sort of identify as having some sort of barrier or condition. So it's not just about getting people into work and saying, here, go into this. So we work with them
And what we do is we arrange work placements. So people get screened and interviewed from their advisor, which is someone like myself. Then they go with one of the account managers and they get an interview and make sure that it's the right thing for them. So if they're aged between 18 and 24 and they're successful, they might do a placement in Marks and Spencer's in Church Street for 3 months. So they get the uniform, they work, they get their bus fares paid, they get their lunch every day, but they're working in an area that sometimes you wouldn't normally get a chance to sort of see if you like the retail sector. If you're over 24, you do it for 2 weeks. But when you've finished your placement, then you get to decide whether it's what you want to do, and then the employer, like Marks and Spencer's, they think whether you're okay to do that job. So it's really nice to do, it's like a bit of a practice, a dress rehearsal, to make sure that you're not thrown into something that's going to be too difficult or something that you don't like. Then there's other things that we do as well. So we might just sit with our clients and go on the internet and have a look at what jobs are available and match them to your skill set. I was talking to you before about different employers. Lots of employers in England have a scheme that they welcome to people that have got disabilities. And so if a reasonable adjustment needs to be made, so say if somebody has got a hearing impairment, then the employer will be made aware of that, and they are very accommodating. A lot of employers are very accommodating, so it might be a loop that they get put in the building or whatever. If someone's in a wheelchair, they need to make sure that there's easy access if it's a call centre or an office situation. So it used to be called the 2-tick scheme, now it's called disability awareness, I think it is. But
another interesting job is the job of a glassblower.
Here, they sorted the cullet, the glass. They also sorted the raw ingredients, the sand, the limestone. They've mixed that as well.
Glassblowing is a glass forming technique that involves inflating molten glass into a bubble with the aid of a blowpipe. A person who blows glass is called a glassblower, glassmith or gaffer. Glassblowing is a hard job. It is the traditional method of producing glass objects over the last 250 years.
I'd like to introduce you to Charlie, our glassblower for today. Charlie's just heated up the blowing iron, and he's just taking any waste glass, any old glass out of it, because it's locked, he can't blow through it. There you go. That's all glass out of the way. Now he's going to take some glass out of the furnace. We call this a gather, and the furnace is temperature.
The glass-blowing process is divided into several phases and requires the use of equipment such as furnaces, blowpipes and fine art tools. Working as a glassblower means developing ideas, choosing the necessary tools and materials and producing a finished product.
It's very difficult, that very first blow into the balloon. So Charlie blows into the tube, puts his thumb over the end, the area side, the metal will expand the glass at the end. But he needs to get a lot of heat into the glass so that it will expand for him.
If you have a strong pair of lungs and are drawn towards a career in arts and crafts, then you should become a glassblower. The blowpipe is being held in the glassblower's left hand. The glass is glowing red. Glassblowers need to stay in touch with the latest industry, design and business trends, including changes and improvements in glassblowing methods and tools.
You should see it start expanding. So he uses newspaper, it's 6 sheets. Is it the Telegraph or the Times we use it at the moment?
It's the Telegraph.
The Telegraph.
Actually, it's the Telegraph, the bigger one I've seen before.
Oh, you're using 4 sheets now, right, okay, but we soak it in water. Because of the heat from the glass, it produces steam and carbon, and that's what allows him to shape the glass without burning his hand.
Glass blowers who work in factories will have fixed hours and may need to work in shifts, while self-employed and independent glass blowers can decide about work times. Self-employed craftsmen are responsible for using the best equipment and tools, advertising and marketing.
I did a degree in glass and ceramics, so I trained in the National Glass Centre in Sunderland for 3 years. That was about 10 or 11 years ago now.
Degrees, diplomas and other foundational courses in art are useful, so the field's open to interested individuals from any field or degree discipline. Subject-specific courses in glass design and blowing are offered by several institutions and organizations across the UK. Apprenticeship programs in stained glass conservation, architectural glass design and glass making are also available. At the beginning, salaries are not very high because it will take a lot of time learning the fine details of this craft. The income for newcomers are between £20,000 and £24,000 a year. The annual income will depend on the years of experience, quality of work and promotion. The majority of glass blowers are usually self-employed. There are several colleges in the UK where school leavers can apply for an apprenticeship.
To advertise those vacancies for school leavers like yourself. So if you are sitting in this room now thinking that you want an apprenticeship, you need to start thinking about your skills, your experience, because you will start to apply for those jobs from Easter time. Some vacancies will be launching over the next few months. So you need to make sure that you can talk about anything else that you've done in school or outside of school. Do you play football? That shows commitment. That shows leadership skills. Are you a prefect in school?
The lady is talking about requirements and skills which can be necessary to become a trainee of the vocational school. She is explaining the different kind of apprenticeships you can apply for.
And that's what you will need to show when you apply for those vacancies. As a recruitment company for our employers, those vacancies come out when they come out. But our top employers know, with the apprenticeships, that they get...
The staff of this vocational college is proud of telling us that many of their trainees had got a well-paid job after finishing the college.
We again manage their recruitment process for them. These vacancies will be on offer for yourselves in June. They might think, well, how do I apply for these vacancies? You just need to apply for full-time college and make sure that you say you're interested in an apprenticeship. We have an event coming up in March you'll be invited to. Our employers will come to you and they'll tell you about their vacancies, and then we'll put you forward for those jobs. Now, Plus Dame's vacancies last year had over 600 applicants. You can see by their salaries.
So why not go to a vocational college? Be careful about the deadlines for application.